So what now? Is there a chance for a nonpartisan agreement, or could we be headed for another major economic crisis? Let's ask a senior member of the House Ways and Means Committee, Democrat Jim McDermott of Washington State and Republican Tom Price of Georgia. He is on the House Budget Committee. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you. Great to be with you, Heather.
So let's just start off with this. The GOP plan, it would reduce government red ink by about $4.4 trillion over 10 years. Obama would shrink deficits by $4 trillion over 12 years. This question goes to both of you, and I'll begin with Congressman McDermott. Is there a chance for a nonpartisan agreement for the 2012 budget?
Well, I think there is. You saw as we came up to some of the votes this week that the Speaker does not have control of his own caucus. He has a bunch in there who are much more radical in their approach, and I think ultimately he's going to have to come to the Democrats for some votes on our side. So I'm optimistic that we'll find a place where we can meet between the President's budget and Mr. Ryan's budget.
And to Congressman Price, do you think that's true?
Yes.
Does Speaker Boehner not have control of his own party?
Oh, no, Republicans are united because what you saw on Thursday or Friday of this past week was 235 support the 2012 budget, which decreases spending so that we can create jobs, decreases taxes so we can create jobs, saves the health and retirement security for seniors, and puts us on a path to a balanced budget. Now, what our friends on the other side of the aisle and the president don't seem to understand is that you can't borrow and spend your way to prosperity. No nation has ever done it. We're not about to be the first. So if they recognize that fundamental, then yes, we're happy to have them join us. But if they don't, then we've got to do what the American people are demanding, which is to decrease spending and decrease taxes so we can create jobs.
Congressman McDermott, what is your party willing to give up or negotiate in order to reach an agreement? What area could there be a compromise on?
Well, I think the president laid out a very comprehensive plan to reduce the budget by $4 trillion. It's like playing the piano. The president played on the white keys and on the black keys. The Republicans only want to play on the black keys. They want to cut. They don't want to talk about increased revenue. And anybody who looks at the situation realizes that you cannot get the kind of cuts that the Republicans are saying they can out of the 12% of discretionary budget and Medicare. They want to turn Medicare into a voucher plan. They want to put old people out on the street with a handful of money and say, go find an insurance company that will cover your needs. That is not going to work, and the American public is not going to accept that. So the Republicans are going to have to talk about putting some taxes on people above $1 million. People who make $1 million out of this society ought to pay something into the problems that we need to fix now.
But really, though, we're talking about taxes on households making over $250,000. And Congressman Price, I was going to ask you, do you want to put old people out on the street? You seem like a nice guy.
Heather, this is just the kind of discussion point that Jim brings into it that the American people are sick and tired of. They're sick and tired of the gimmicks in Washington, the empty promises in Washington. What they want is people to work together to solve problems. And no Republican wants to put anybody out on the street. Let's be serious. The Medicare trustees themselves, the objective arbiters of Medicare, say that the program's going to go broke in 9 years if we don't do anything. That's what the Democrats want, apparently, because they aren't proposing any significant changes. And what the president proposed in his speech last week was $2 trillion of increased taxes. You want to decrease jobs in this country. That's what'll do it. What we need to do is revitalize the economy. We know you've got to grow the economy in order to increase job creation and in order to get us out of the challenge that we're in. The American people want a real, honest conversation about this. The Democrats aren't providing that.
All right. Thank you very much. That has to be the last word. We appreciate you joining us, Congressman McDermott and Congressman Price. Thank you.